esteemed, respected members, ladies and gentlemen from Karnataka, West Bengal, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Telangana, Australia, London, USA, and from different colleges of Telangana. Once again, welcome to you all. Thank you for joining today's webinar. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Dr.G.Suhasini, Head Department of Zoology, Pingle Government College for Warangal, and convener of this webinar. We are all now in a digital era and have been witnessing the COVID-19 pandemic since December 2019, which has started an online culture and taught all of us to extract the best out of it. And this program is a part of it. We have extracted the resources available and trying to conduct this program. So I request all the participants to go on mute, and all our well-wishers are watching us live on YouTube. So kindly turn off your videos as we are ready to commence the program. On behalf of Zoology Department, I extend very warm and hearty welcome to this international webinar on stopping the surge of COVID. I am privileged to invite the chairperson, Dr. G. Raja Reddy, Principal, Government College for Women, Vaddepalli. Welcome, sir. Next, it's my honor to welcome today's speaker, Vinay Kumar Arepalli, Manufacturing Science and Technology Scientist, currently working in Sun Pharmaceutical, USA. It's my pleasure to invite Dr. Y. Venkaya, Head Department of Zoology, Kakati University, Warangal. Welcome, sir. And a warm welcome to our advisor and TG-GCTA President Sanjeev Iyer, sir, Assistant Professor, Kakatiya Government Degree College, Warangal. I invite advisor and TG-GCTA General Secretary, Dr. K. Surendra Reddy, Assistant Professor of Zoology, SRR Government Arts and Science College, Karimnagar. Hearty welcome, sir. I invite our Vice Principal and IQSC Coordinator, Dr. Ramavat Ravi, sir, and Dr. D. Ramakrishna, Academic Coordinator. Welcome, sir. I am pleased to welcome all the organizing committee members, advisory members, faculty participating from various colleges of Telangana and other states of our states, and our college faculty, students, and all distinguished participants from other countries. Once again, hearty welcome. And a brief introduction about our college. Pingle Government College is a prestigious, oldest women's government college in the state, established in the year 1965. To its legacy, it is permanently affiliated to Kakatiya University. It is re-accredited with NAC A grade and ISO certified college with UG and PG with about 2,000 students. Next, I request our chairperson to say the remarks about this webinar.
Thank you, madam. Madam, am I audible?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good evening once again, everyone. In this pandemic situation, especially when we are considering the situation in India, it's very horrible, unexplainable, and everyone is limited to their homes. When we are very busy, we were very busy with our activities throughout the day and night. We were habituated to work hard 24 hours round the clock. But now everyone is restricted to their homes, especially due to the pandemic. Now, what is the situation in India, especially in India, when compared to some of the advanced countries like America and Israel? Now, they have came across the same situation, and they have controlled it successfully, and they are moving around as usual as in the case of pre-COVID situations. Now, I request the participants and the key speakers and other learned to highlight the Indian situation, especially how to overcome, what are the main causes for prevalence of so high degree of uh, this disease, and some remedial measures when in contrast to India. I request
అక్కడ బయట పిండేసిన అవి తెచ్చుకోండి
ఇంకా మొత్తం
Vinay Kumar especially to show some guidelines or some some important road to come out of the main, especially COVID pandemic. Now I request Dr. Y. Venkaya, Head Department of Zoology, to express opinion regarding the importance of this seminar. Venkaya sir, please. Dr. Y. Venkaya sir, please give your opinion. Venkaya sir? Okay.
Please, sir hasn't come.
Dr. Sanjeevaya sir, advisory committee
Sanjeevaya sir
member,
has
and
come, sir.
Sanjeevaya sir, please. Sanjeevaya garu, please respond.
Sure, sir.
Dr. K. Surendra Reddy sir. Sanjeevaya sir, are you there?
Sir is present, sir.
Sanjeevaya sir, please give your opinion, valuable suggestion in this regard. Dr. A. Sanjeevaya garu, advisory member, TGC GCTA president. Dr. Sanjeevaya sir.
Hello.
Sir, please.
Sir, we can
please,
hear
sir.
you, sir.
Okay,
Please,
okay,
sir.
okay, madam. Okay. And first of all, I congratulate Vaddepelli Women's Pingle College Principal Dr. Raja Reddy Garu, Organizing Committee Convener Madam Suhasini Garu, and Speaker Vinay Kumar Garu, Organizing Committee members Ramakrishna, Renuka Madam, Kalpana, Ramavat Ravi, all organizing committee members, and also specially I congratulate and also Dr. Y. Venkaya, HOD, and also Shamita Madam, Istari sir, Professor Istari, and Professor Narayana, and GCGTA General Secretary Dr. Ravin Surendra Reddy, each and everyone. Good evening to all. First of all, once again, I congratulate and appreciate in this crucial condition for organizing such a excellent and relevant topic, arranging speech on the topic, this COVID, surge of COVID-19. And I wish all of you all the best for this by selecting this wonderful topic at right time. Really, it is necessary. Entire world is suffering, afraid of this corona, and we expect a valuable information regarding this topic and to enlighten the people. And also I appreciate and I all the participants throughout the world. And really, it is great opportunity to me to involve in this program. And once again, Suhasini Madam Garu and Raja Reddy Garu and all of you Pingle College team, I appreciate, and let us will have the very good topic. And thank you very much for me inviting me
Thank,
this program. Chala
thank you,
manchi
Dr.
program organize చేశారు sir. Thank you very much. Thank you and congrats.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjeev sir, for your blessings.
Okay, sir.
Dr. K. Surendra Reddy sir, General Secretary, TGCJ, please give your valuable opinion, sir.
Sir, రాలేదు సార్.
Dr. Ravi sir, Vice Principal. Dr. Ramakrishna Reddy, Academic Coordinator, please. Dr. Ramakrishna Reddy sir. Dr. Ramakrishna Reddy sir, are you there?
కనిపించట్లేదు సార్ దీంట్లో.
Ramakrishna Reddy sir, please speak few words.
ఓకే సార్.
Sorry for this non-availability. Now I request the main speaker, Vinay Kumar Arapalli from USA, to
సార్ ఇంట్రొడక్షన్ సార్.
give your valuable overview and some remedies. Before that, I request Dr. Suhasini Madam to introduce the Vinay Kumar Arapalli Garu. Please, Dr. Suhasini Madam.
ఓకే సార్. ఓకే సార్.
Suhasini Madam, please introduce.
Just a minute, sir. A warm welcome to international webinar on Stop the Surge of COVID-19. To today's speaker, young speaker, Vinay Kumar Arapalli, manufacturing science and technology scientist from Sun Pharmaceuticals, USA. And this part of the webinar is organized by Pingle Government College, Warangal, Telangana, by the Department of Zoology. A brief introduction about our speaker. Mr. Vinay Kumar Arapalli is from New Jersey, but hails from Warangal, is presently in New Jersey, United States of America. He is currently working as a manufacturing science and technology scientist for a well-established generic Sun Pharmaceutical USA. Coming to his educational qualifications, Vinay Kumar has done his bachelor's degree in pharmacy and master's in healthcare informatics from Sacred Heart University, USA, and master's in project management from Cumberland University, USA. This is the short and brief introduction about Vinay Kumar. Vinay will be sharing his views and thoughts on the surge of COVID-19 in India and in the world. And now let's get into the session and hear from Vinay. Thank you. And over to Vinay. If anyone have questions during the presentation, please type them into the chat box I will bring them up to the presentation, and we will also have time for questions at the end of the session.
Vinay sir, please start your session, sir.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much, Suhasini Garu, for introducing me to the panel. And thank you, Raja Reddy Garu, for attending this great webinar. And I know how much it takes to be a part of this team. And so I know who is working behind the scenes, like IT people and everyone. I really appreciate them for making this conference successful. So now let's get into the session. So let me share my screen, okay? All right. Okay, so can everyone see this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay, so getting into the topic. So today we choose the great, what is going around in the world. So the topic would be how to stop the surge of COVID-19 in India, also in the world. So coming to our presentation, it will be more focusing on the preventive methods and what other countries are doing and what India is lagging behind today. So getting into the topic, my agenda will be the background of the COVID and how it is started and how it is replicated in all the countries, not only in India, but also in the USA, Australia, Israel, everywhere in the world. And I'll be discussing few points from the World Health Organization on COVID-19 since it started in 2020. So what is the current mortality rate compared to the past? Because as we all know, during the initial times, India has very less cases reported. But in the second wave of COVID-19, India has affected a lot. And we can see the spike of the cases and the mortality rate has increased dramatically. So what are we doing different than all other countries? So why are we lagging behind the preventive methods? And what mistake are we performing there? So we're going to discuss that in the future slides. And what has happened during the second hit of the virus in India and social distancing guidelines at workplace. I know most of the people who attended this meeting are working or going to school or having the education or whatever it may be, but we will be meeting a group of people during our day-to-day life. So let's discuss what we can do. So this is like a caution because I cannot conclude everything because it's not in our hands and it is not said anywhere. Even the vaccines are not 100% released. So I just want to make a disclaimer that this presentation by itself is not sufficient training for individuals and personals who have potential for occupational exposure to the SARS-CoV-2 virus. So you should make a note that this is an awareness training only. All right, so I just want to talk a little bit about the COVID-19 virus and the background and where it started, how it started. So here, if you see the SARS-CoV-19, everyone know about the SARS, right? So that's a serious acute respiratory syndrome. It's a virus that causes the coronavirus disease. And many respiratory infections are caused by coronavirus. Because virus is not just a virus, it's a family, like a family of viruses that are easily spread through the respiratory droplets in the air or in the surfaces. So these viruses can be spread easily person to person. And little if immunity in humans, they will be prone more to the disease. And it is causing a severe illness and the death. So it features sustained person to person spread worldwide. So this coronavirus is not only restricted to any country or any immune system, it is affecting everyone in the world. And it poses an especially high risk for the 60 years or old elderly people with pre-existing health conditions, such as who have the blood pressures, who have the heart disease, who have the lung disease, and the diabetes and autoimmune disorders, and certain workers who are working for the COVID-19 hospitals. So here I have made a research on the COVID-19. So I have choose the good organizations, the worldwide organizations like World Health Organization, WHO, and Ministry of Health from India, and CDC from the United States. So you can refer to the reliable sources such as WHO, CDC, and Ministry of Health, State and Central Health Department peer-reviewed science publications. So I just want to make a note here. So COVID-19 is rapidly changing on day-to-day basis. So I just want you guys to look onto these websites mentioned here for the daily update. All right, so next, going into the next slide. So what World Health Organization initially warned the countries around the world? On March 11, 2020, the World Health Organization characterized the COVID-19 as a pandemic because they already know, because we know that there is a virus called influenza back in the days. So when influenza virus attacked the country, everyone was on the death rolls. So the World Health Organization, they took an initiative to say COVID-19 is a pandemic. So here I have collected a video from the World Health Organization's news. So let us watch this video and see how it started and what we have to do. Okay, so let me play this video. Also, please let me know if you cannot see the video, but I'll just pop up from here.
If you want to know why you're so tired so often, look at this banana. It's fresh, brightly colored, looks great. On
We
March
cannot
11th.
see Vinay.
Okay, thank you. Let me share that. Can you see now?
Yes, we can see.
All right.
On March 11, 2020, the World Health Organization made an announcement.
In the past 2 weeks, the number of cases of COVID-19 outside China has increased 13-fold. COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
The coronavirus, or COVID-19 disease, had already overwhelmed China, South Korea, Iran, and Italy. And this was a warning to other countries where it was now spreading quickly.
In the days and weeks ahead, we expect to see the number of cases, the number of deaths, and the number of affected countries climb even higher.
The spread of COVID-19 was no longer something that could be stopped. But we can still slow it down. We just have to act right now. Someone with COVID-19 usually develops a fever and a cough. Aches, pains, and other mild symptoms are also possible, but are less frequent. but the severity of those symptoms varies. And for some people who get the virus, you might never show symptoms at all.
Based on the data from China, the vast majority of cases are not life-threatening. In 80% of cases, people experience only mild disease, but in 20% of cases, the disease can manifest in a more serious way or can develop into quite a severe pneumonia where people need to be hospitalized and put on ventilators.
Overall, it seems like about 1 to 2% of known cases lead to death, but that rate is much lower for young people and much higher for the elderly.
And it also seems that people with unmanaged underlying chronic diseases, they also have a tougher time overcoming the virus.
The virus also seems to be very contagious, more contagious than the flu.
All you need to do to spread COVID-19 is cough or sneeze on someone else, touch a surface where the virus still lives, and then put your hand in your mouth or your eyes or your nose.
After getting infected, it can take an average of 5 to 6 days before you feel sick and your symptoms start to appear. But you can already spread it to people in that period, even if you feel healthy.
Just as people realize they're sick, they seem to be at the most risk of passing it along to others.
That's how the virus has been so effective at spreading across the world so quickly, and why the WHO was now calling COVID-19 a pandemic. But what they said next was just as important.
We cannot say this loudly enough. All countries can still change the course of this pandemic.
And that depends on something each of us needs to do as individuals.
So diseases become really dangerous when everyone gets sick at once and the health system becomes overwhelmed.
In any hospital, the capacity to treat patients is limited by how many beds they have. Think of this as the number of beds in your local hospital at any given time. A couple are already filled by patients receiving treatment for things like a car accident injury or a stroke. And this dot represents one person who's healthy and decides to go out like usual. They jump on the subway and head into the office where they catch COVID-19. But they don't feel sick right away and might not for several days. So later they go to a basketball game where they unknowingly infect 2 or 3 more people. Most of these people will have relatively mild cases, but one might be an elderly person with a severe case who will eventually have to go to the hospital. But these 3, who are all infected but don't feel sick, go out again on the subway, into the office, and then out after work, infecting several more people, 20% of whom will need to go to the hospital. Over a short period of time, this process multiplies the number of people going to the hospital each day. Before long, the hospital is full and a crisis begins. People with severe cases of COVID-19 can't get treatment, and some who could be saved die. Plus, people with other issues can't get treatment either, and some of them die. This surge of severe cases causes avoidable deaths. That's what happened in South Korea, Iran, and Italy, all of which went from 100 to more than 5,000 cases in less than 2 weeks. A lot of people died because they couldn't get into the hospitals. The surge is made up of only severe cases, but it was generated by people who didn't feel sick, spreading the disease in public. Which means the people who can do the most to avoid these unnecessary deaths are these people. And that means all of us. To slow the virus down, you need to act as if you already have it. By avoiding public transportation, the office, crowded places, and even small social gatherings, you decrease your chances of both getting the disease and spreading it. This is called social distancing. If enough of us do it, the virus still spreads, but much slower. Over time, many people might still get infected, but fewer severe cases show up to the hospital each day, never overwhelming the system. This trend line gets flatter. These people can all get treatment, and fewer people die because of it. These are the 2 ways the COVID-19 pandemic can play out. But this one only happens if everyone does their part. And it's why experts and officials are urging people to flatten the curve by social distancing and staying home as much as possible. It's also why in the US, many companies are helping by requiring employees to work from home, and major sports leagues have canceled their games for the time being. It may seem drastic, but it's worked before. In 1918, the cities of Philadelphia and St. Louis were both hit by a flu pandemic, but they responded in different ways. In Philadelphia, health officials allowed a huge parade to go ahead, while in St. Louis, officials prepared. They closed schools, theaters, and bars. Philadelphia's hospitals were overwhelmed, and many more died as a result. But St. Louis was able to avoid those excessive deaths. A 100 years later, these are the two scenarios we face. A difference not in whether you get the coronavirus, but when you get it. That could mean the difference between life and death, maybe for someone you know. But we have to act now.
All right, so thank you for watching a short video. And here if we can see that World Health Organization have already warned every citizen of the countries in the world to take the minimum precautions like social distancing, wearing the mask, and not rushing to the hospital unless you are critically ill. But I think we are not doing that in this situation, because I know, I see the videos, I follow the news from India that people are so much worried and rushing to the hospital where they are getting more infected than they are. So let us discuss few preventive methods in the following videos. So what could be the route of transfer of the disease? COVID-19 is spread from person to person, mainly through coughing, sneezing, and talking and breathing. And here the droplets from the respiratory secretions from coughing or sneezing landing on mucosal surfaces, nose, mouth, and eyes. And those are the aerosols, a solid particles or the liquid particles suspended in the air can affect you. And the contact touching something with the SARS-2 virus on it, and then touching mouth, nose, or eyes. That's when the virus can get into you. And when you feel like you are sick, you should watch for your symptoms. So people with the COVID-19 have had a wide range of symptoms reported, ranging from, but that are not limited to, fever, chills, cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, muscle or body aches, headache, and it could be a new loss of taste or smell. People also feel sore throat, and congestion could occur, and nausea and vomitings. Also, I would request every one of you to please seek medical emergency in case of any severity. So now we have gone through all the slides, like how did coronavirus actually get in and what WHO has initially warned every country and what could be the symptoms. So, but we also have to discuss how did it get worse day by day in the USA, also in the world since 2020. So not knowing the severity of virus in the initial days made it worse. So people are commuting every day through public transportations, and due to international traveling, restaurants, pubs, and gathering at public places. So not taking the safety measures for the growing pandemic has led us today in this critical situation. So if we look at the graphs, so countries with the most reported infections during the year 2020 and 2021. So we can see like a lot of countries here. So first one could be India, then US, Brazil, France, Turkey, Italy, UK, Argentina, Germany, and Russia. So here what happened to India? So if you can see that ash color bar, so that indicates the number of cases in the year 2020. And the orange bar is the number of cases reported in 2021. So when we see the bar for India, it has tremendously raised in 2021. That could be many reasons, not only the not only for not taking the precautions, but it also could be for the second variant which attacked India in the year 2021. And if you look at the bars for US, we had like crazy cases in the year 2020. Everyone is dying just because of COVID. And hope everyone knows New York City in the United States. So it is the biggest city, and the whole world runs on the New York City. And as I live close by New York City, I could imagine and I could see what has happened actually. So streets were calm, everything was calm. No, I don't see no person on the streets because everyone was scared and hiding themselves in the houses. So it was that worse in the year 2020. But so in every virus will gradually go up and it will mutate, and it will increase the number of persons affecting. But if we can see in the US, it has surprisingly fallen down. So not only the vaccination, this country got vaccination not so early, in between, in the starting and in between the year of 2021. But how did the graph fall from 2020 to 2021? So I would say we have been taking the precautions since day one of the coronavirus and until today. And you cannot see a person outside without a mask. They might forget their keys for their home, their cars, and everything, but they don't forget the mask, because we are the persons who have to take care of ourselves and our country, and we have to surpass the virus. Okay, then let's watch about the Brazil. So it has a slight difference. It is not much. And you can see the France, Turkey, Italy, UK, Argentina, Germany, and Russia. So you can see the bars for the 2020 and 2021 year. So most of the countries have decreasing their coronavirus cases during the year 2021. So what are we doing? So what is our mistake? So do we have to act, or is the government is taking care of these things, or every individual have to be a part of this coronavirus? So let's watch this one. So what has happened during the second hit of the virus in India? So in early February 2021, hospitalization numbers have plummeted, like gone very crazy. And India was reporting as many new cases per day as New York City state, as New York State, despite being 50 times as populous. Multiple studies have found that second variant is between 40% and 70% more contagious than earlier iterations of the virus and appears to be more lethal. Over a period of time, from about November 2020, the population probably became a little bit complacent, thinking it was out of our lives. So during these times, in the year 2020, so people were scared and they restricted to their homes for a certain period of time. I could say from January to November. Then they thought it is all over, and they get it off of their houses, and they're on the streets meeting people, hanging out, and doing all this kind of stuff. But the virus is not yet done. And but India is now due to that reason, India became the epic center of the global pandemic and focal point of international concerns. As of May 2021, this year, the country has reported more than 350,000 new cases alone in a day, which is very sorry to hear that, but it is what it is. And while the Brazil is approaching to 450,000 cases, which is in the second place, and India became third country on Monday, 24th of May 2021, to surpass 300,000 deaths related to COVID-19. So while doing my research on the background, like what is going wrong and what has happened and what is happening right now in the country, I have came across a video which showed like how bad it is in India. So I just literally don't want to show you guys that video, but we have to talk about the facts right now. So I would like to play this video. So let's watch it. Sorry, guys. I know it is very heartbreaking to watch these kind of videos, but we have to know where we are mistaking and what could we do to overcome all these situations. So if we look at some preventive methods in the following slides, then we will be able to control this situation and get over it. And I am adding all these links at the end for the references. You could watch them anytime. So now we have watched a video and we can see the number of people dying due to the coronavirus. And in that video, it is mentioned like saying in the year 2021, May 2021, India has more cases than the United States. Everyone knows that United States had a severe cases during the initial days, but how did India get into that place? So it could be several reasons. It could be because of the second variant, or it could be the negligence of the people or the country, I would say. So if you look at some of the drawbacks for having a surge in India when compared to the other countries. So I put India on the left side and other countries on the right side. So if you can look at here, India has a very dense population and inadequate political management and not satisfying infrastructure and limited resources, lack of knowledge in some areas of the country, urban and rural areas under development, poor communication between the government and the citizens. But if you look at the other countries, they are slightly less populated and they are adequate political management, satisfying infrastructure, and they have the ample resources, and everyone is aware of the situation, and they are slightly or well developed, and they have a very good communication between the people and the government, and everyone is taking precautions what they have to take during this period of times. So what I would suggest is we could not blame anything on the government, how it is working and how it is not. But it is our responsibility to act in this period of times, because government could not come to each house and each member and ask you to take care of yourself and the country. It is your responsibility to take care of yourself, your family, and the country. So we have to think about it like, so what happens if I have to go out and if I meet some people with the infection, and what could be the scenario, and what I mean, like how it can affect my for me and for my family and for my relatives, whoever it may be. Every human being is a human being. So let's watch some preventive methods. So what are we doing different than other countries? So regardless of the drawbacks, which I just discussed in the previous slide, there were many reasons behind the serious surge of COVID virus in the year 2021. The virtually uplifting of all restrictions and holding massive political rallies and religious festivals that drew tens of thousands of pilgrims from all over the country. I hope everyone heard about the Kumbh Mela or the politics or the, what do we say, the elections and all this kind of stuff, which is unnecessary during these times. But not knowing the fact the country would fall into a very critical situation, the government has initiated these things and public has tremendously accepted, and they got onto the roads and they spread the virus like anything. So taking easy on wearing a mask and spreading the infection has gotten worse, and large group gatherings at political rallies, attending events may have played a key role for the spread of the infection. So to get the pandemic situation in control around the world, so what all countries are doing, even with the India. So every country has started restricting the travelers from all countries because the coronavirus initially it spread from some country. Let's not focus on where it came from, because we cannot blame some country for doing this one. So, and because it is not yet proven. So let's think about the international traveling. So that might be the reason. So every country has started restricting the travelers from different countries, and the CDC and World Health Organization has activated its emergency operation center to better provide ongoing support to the 2019 coronavirus responses, and also for the 2020. I could conclude that, and extended the help on providing more advanced healthcare system, and information on the safety measures have started spreading all over by using social media as their main platform. Since everyone is restricted to their homes and everyone is not asked to come out of their houses, so social media has played a very critical role during these times. And every country have mandated the use of masks to stop the spread of the contagious virus. Washing and sanitizing the hands are mandatory and restricted on the public gatherings, and countries have focused on sanitizing the surfaces and the public places. So I just want to talk about a great country, and you know how small Australia is, but even though they didn't think about their economy fall down, or they didn't think about anything, and the Australia government has taken a wonderful step. They want their citizens to be safe and their country to be safe. So they have made a crazy decision. I would really appreciate the president or the prime minister of that country and the political parties, whoever it may be. So what Australia has really did, so Australia has become a pandemic success story during these times. Now, I could cite this saying, Australia did much better than any other country in the world. So the nation of the 26 million is close to eliminating community transmission of the coronavirus. So the country has chose to quickly and tightly seal its borders. So they have stopped every communication coming from the different countries, and they have stopped the flights. They have stopped the commuting. They have stopped everything. They just want themselves to be safe, and they should not be affected by the virus, because knowing the fact that Australia is a small country, they know what could be the situation if they are infected with the virus. If it spread all over the country, and I think no one will be alive in the country, because it has a very small population too. And after 111 days of the lockdown, they have initiated a lockdown for 111 days. And the number of average daily cases fell below 5, which is surprising. And I think they already lift up the lockdowns, and everything was normal. Then I think they have initiated the lockdown again due to this coronavirus second wave. And Australia have also broadly accepted the measures. And now Australia's COVID-19 response has been the envy of many countries, with Dr. Fauci's recently praising the country for being a world leader on containment and management of emerging variants of the virus. So everyone knows, like, who are the frontline workers. It could be a nurse, it could be a doctor, it could be anyone working for hospitals or anywhere. So they are the main sources to make us alive today. So frontline workers have played a very crucial role in saving millions of lives. They are relentlessly working to get the situation under control. Healthcare workers on the front line of the COVID-19 pandemic risk exposure to the coronavirus daily, and this poses obvious risks to their physical health. And public health crisis is taking a toll on their mental health as well, contributing to anxiety, stress, depression, loneliness, and other concerns, in which 93% were experiencing stress and 86% reported anxiety, and 77% reported frustrations, and 75% said they are overwhelmed. Because healthcare workers are also human beings just like us. So so let us put this way. If we are sitting home, and if you are blaming the healthcare workers, or if and they are taking our part and they are making us safe, and they are giving their lives to save our lives, so which is a great thing. So we should always appreciate the frontline workers for their help. And many workers also reported showing their concerns towards their lost family members, friends, and families. Okay, considering the fact the healthcare workers never stopped to provide the services during these pandemic days. And as we all know, about 39% said they didn't feel like they had adequate emotional support. They are relentlessly working, they are at the hospitals saving lives. But if we think about themselves, we almost lost like 115,000 healthcare workers during their course of work, and during their help to the people and the countries. And here are a couple of citations. You can go over there and see how they have offered their lives to just save the lives of the country and the normal citizens. So what an healthcare worker, what do we go through wearing a personal protective equipment? So I would request, like, everyone should understand what it takes to be a healthcare worker. We as a healthcare workers wear personal protective equipment in our line of duty every day-to-day life to save millions of lives. And it was never easy, and it is never easy to breathe inside a fully covered equipment. So what can be a giveaway to the healthcare workers as of now? And if you could see, this is the picture behind the scene is me wearing the personal protective equipment in my line of duty. So it is the time to act now. So if you wear a mask, then these people don't need to wear this, and they don't need to lose their lives. As your life is important, their life is too. So I would suggest everyone, I would request everyone to do their minimal things. So when it's time to act, it is now, nevertheless. So it is critically important to understand the progression of symptoms of COVID-19 infected persons. So stop the spread of disease. So stay home when you are sick. Be informed and be prepared. Limit your physical contacts. Avoid shaking hands and hugging, especially with those who are sick. Wear a mask and maintain social distancing at least 6 feet apart. Wash your hands frequently and use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Cough or sneeze into a tissue or your elbow. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces. Maintaining a good hygiene would be a plus. So here are few guidelines recommended by World Health Organization. I know a lot of people here on this call are a working professional. So I would like to go through these few of these guidelines so that might help you guys to take care of yourself. So if we could see here, the first foremost thing is avoid in-person meetings. Use online conferencing like how we are doing right now. And the second one would be unavoidable in-person meetings. Such should be like short, very short span, and in a large meeting rooms where people can sit at least 6 feet from each other. And the third one could be eliminate unnecessary travels and cancel or postpone your travels unless it is very important. So do not congregate in workrooms, pantries, copier rooms, or any part of the office. And fifth one could be, this is a very general one. Bring your lunch and eat at your desk or away from others. And avoid public transportation or go early to or go early or late to avoid rush hours. And considering the fact we have a massive population, so I would definitely suggest everyone uh, to just follow these precautions at least to decrease the spread of the virus, and limit your recreational or other leisure classes, meetings and activities, etc. So finally I could conclude saying that prevention is much better than cure. And if given a chance, please get vaccinated. And if you want to talk about the vaccine is helping, even though it is clinically not 100% proven, it is really helping, and it is boosting up the immune system. So that is how you can avoid the virus. Even though virus come into your body, I think the vaccine could be able to fight against the virus and give you more immune power. And here are the references from where I have got the information. So I have did a little bit of research on how the Indian government and how the Indian population is affecting, and how it is different from all other countries. So you could refer to any of these references to get more information. So I would like to open a discussion room. So here, so I just want to let you guys know that this presentation is more of taking the preventive methods, and I want to discuss, because right now I'm living in the United States, and I can see people join from Australia, and I can see the people join from India. So what all these countries, like what all these countries are doing to decrease the virus. So if anyone want to talk about something, and if anyone have questions, this discussion room is open, and you can ask me any questions. I would give my best to share my answers.
Thank you, Vinay sir,
Thank you,
for
sir.
your enlarged and depth view of coronavirus and its spreading at various parts of the world and especially regarding India. And what are the causes, especially large gatherings, moving closely, highly populated areas, and so on. Now, the suffering in India is on, especially we don't know at what is the end time, but we try to give awareness and get awareness among ourselves and to the participant, and after going home they have to uh, keep in mind and spread some of
Right.
the messages I received. uh, Purna Malawat, if you want
Okay.
any question, please ask Vinay sir. Please introduce yourself and ask. Please, Madam Purna. Purna Malawat.
Is she on call?
Purna, Madam.
Okay, sir, you
Anand.
can go for the next one.
Next, Anand. Anand.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Please, yes, sir. We are hearing.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to ask question. It was such a
Please
wonderful
introduce, sir. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Anand Masagala. I'm right now, I live in Hyderabad. I've done my bachelor's. So I was listening all this presentation. It was really wonderful and so much valuable information that Vinay brother gave to us. So in this context, I just wanted to ask a few questions related to coronavirus. So the main misconception in India is so many people, my friends and family members, they're afraid to take this vaccination, and there's few people are talking that this Covax and Covishield vaccines are not doing well as compared to other vaccines in America. So in America, the most popular vaccines are Johnson and Johnson, and the other one is Pfizer and AstraZeneca. So are these how much these vaccines are safe? I want to ask that Vinay brother. Indian vaccines to Covishield and Covax, do they make on the same formula that America vaccines are making? So is it safe or not? So if our government managed to give vaccine to entire country, can we defeat COVID like America did? So that's my question.
Okay, thank you, sir. Please, Vinay sir, please answer.
Okay. Thank you so much, Anand. I would really appreciate your question because I think this might be a big question for most of the people who are not really aware of the vaccine, what it could be, and what it could help in what way. So, so I just don't want to conclude saying that Pfizer or Johnson and Johnson or Moderna in America are doing better than Covaxin or Sputnik or whatever it is in India, because considering the fact these vaccines are imported from different countries, and India is also making the vaccines. But if you could do a little bit research on this, so you might know what is a brand product and what is a generic product. So these are all the brand products, the Pfizer and Johnson and Johnson, but they gave the raw material to the Indian government and Indian pharmaceutical companies to do their best. So I would say they both act in the same way. They don't make any big difference, but only the thing is one is a generic and one is a brand. So there might be a slight differences, but finally I could say that these will not affect, because having a vaccine is a good thing. You will be at least having like 90% of the immune system built from the vaccine. So I think you should just get rid of that question. I mean, like that thing in the mind, and everyone has to get vaccinated if possible. If given a chance, everyone has to get vaccinated. And no vaccine is different. Not, I mean, like in America, the cases has decreased not only with the vaccine. Even, I mean, like researchers says only 40% of Americans have been vaccinated until today. Only 40%. So you could think of the rest of the 60%. So they are still doing better. So not only the vaccine, but also what they are doing on in day-to-day life, and how they are preventing themselves from getting the virus. So that could be my answer, Anand.
Getting
Thank you so much.
getting vaccination is important, compulsory. Whatever the against news is only misconception and misinterpretation.
Right.
Now,
Thank you, sir.
now
Thank you for adding that information.
Asraya Singireddy, please ask your question. Asraya,
Shravya Singh.
Stravia Singireddy, please.
Hello everyone. Thank you Raja
Please.
Reddy sir. Hello Suhasini ma'am. And hello Vinay. Thanks for the information. It looks like a very good presentation and hope you did a good research on the topic. Myself, I'm Shravya Singireddy, working as a validation engineer for a pharmaceutical company in Greater Boston area. Even I also go through like same experience every day at my work area regarding a working in a pharmaceutical company by wearing a personal protective equipment. So in your presentation, when coming to the presentation, Vinay, can you please elaborate on the slide 2, like which is what are we doing different than other countries when compared with India?
Vinay sir, please.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Shravya. Thank you for your question. I would be more than happy to answer your question. So what are we doing different than other countries? So like Raja Reddy sir just mentioned, it is not only about the vaccination, it is also about the preventive methods what we are taking. So in the year 2021, you know how many people came out of their houses and just spreading the virus like anything. This is, which is very wrong, because even the might says like there will be a situation coming up in the world, like facing this all kind of viruses or the flus or anything. So we should restrict ourselves to the house, and we should always take the preventive methods, because these are not fun, and these are taking lives. The flu and the virus are taking lives of a lot of people. So I would definitely recommend everyone to wear a mask no matter what it is. Just wear a mask, that's it. Wearing a mask is the main thing, I would say. Then following all the precautions, and don't get out of your houses, and don't get on the streets, and don't make any gatherings unnecessarily. I mean, like it, unless it is a very 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 crucial one. And I would like to add one more crucial point in this one, because see, there is a difference between a common flu like cold, fever, and the virus. So in India, what has happened is, when I'm going through some research papers, I have found out that many people, even if they get a cold, cough, sneeze, or whatever it is, they are rushing to the hospitals right away. So they are in a situation assuming that they are affected with the coronavirus, but most of them are really not. So what has happened is, their panic situation is overtaking their health, and due to their panic situation, and when they get into the panic situation, their blood pressures are raising, and they are just thinking like something is going to happen to them. So for that reason, they are rushing to the hospitals, and they are really getting infected at the hospital, not in their houses. So what I would suggest is, even if you have like mild symptoms, like mild cough or mild sneezing or a mild cold, whatever it is, you try to take some over the counter medication for a couple of days at least. And I would suggest do a good hygiene, like warm water is always suggested. And do all kind of things where you can prevent yourself from the flu, not only the virus. So that's how you can that's how people in India can lower the cases also, because rushing to the hospital doesn't make any sense, and everyone knows that the hospital beds are 100% full, and they are not taking any patients coming into the hospital, and no oxygen is available. So, and also I would like to add one more point to this one. So coming to the oxygen, so when they will feel like oxygen levels are down, so when their blood pressure goes high, and their blood pressure, when their blood pressure goes high, they get into the very panic situation, and they can assume like they are having shortness of breath, or they couldn't do something, or they couldn't breathe, and all these kind of things getting into their mind is leading the population or the people go to the hospitals and getting affected there. So my bottom line is, please try to be at your home and try to take over the counter medication at least for a couple of days and see. And if it get worse, definitely I would like to go for a emergency. I think I have answered your question, Ms. Maria.
Yes. Thank you so much for the information.
Thank
No
you,
worries.
sir. Now, next, Banu Misra, please respond. Banu Misra. Shushma Priyanka. Banu Misra, are you there? Shushma. Shushma Priyanka. Naveen Martha. Naveen Martha, please respond. Naveen Martha.
Looks like they are not on the call, sir. You can for the next
Now
one.
I request Dr. G. Renuka Madam, Head of Microbiology Department of Coast College. Please give her feedback, Madam, on this lecture. Dr. Renuka Madam.
Yes, sir.
Please give her feedback, Madam.
So, good evening, one and all. I'm very glad that I'm able to participate in today's meeting. It was very insightful, and also it helped to frame a guiding manual towards fighting the deadly ongoing pandemic. So I thank the speaker, Vinay Aripalli, for sharing his valuable thoughts and his research on the coronavirus and the methods to tackle it. These kind of webinars have to be frequently conducted in order to bring awareness. So actually, the present pandemic will have far-reaching consequences that are unprecedented in this modern era. So let us all feel the responsibility and go forward to give a check to this miserable situation and save our nation. Thank you very much. And at the outset, I also congratulate Suhasini Madam and the Department of Zoology for organizing such an informative webinar. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Renuka Madam.
Very much.
Dr. Khurshid Alam sir, Maulana Abul Kalam University, Hyderabad. Please respond, sir. Dr. Khurshid Alam sir, Assistant Professor, Mano University, Hyderabad. Khurshid Alam sir.
Looks like sir is on mute.
Deepa. Next, I call upon Deepa.
Deepika.
Deepika, please.
Okay. Good evening to one and all. This is Deepika and I am from BZC final year. Firstly, I thank Pingle Degree College for conducting this program. And I'm very happy to be a part of this because it's a very good platform for all of us to interact with the other colleges and other states. And every one of us are experiencing the worst situations due to COVID-19, and many people are facing very dangerous situations. I think one of the reasons for this is due to lack of awareness. And thank you so much for selecting this program at this particular time. And this is very informative. And I think very nice program. And next, I thank Vinay sir for very clear and good presentations. I have given everything in a clear way. Thank you so much, sir. And from the history to the spreading of COVID and its growth and symptoms and everything, sir, have explained in a detailed way. I'm very thankful to you, sir, for your valuable presentation. And I think I just want to tell you something. If we learn something from any webinars or anything, we have to just spread that to our surroundings. And from this also I have learned.
Unmute yourself.
Ma'am?
No, she's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Deepika, please continue.
Oh, okay, sir. So we have to be careful for ourselves and we have to educate other people. And I have gained lots of knowledge prior to my previous knowledge, what I'm having on this COVID-19. So definitely I'm gonna spread this information to my surroundings. And you also do the same by this helping the people. Economically is not only the one thing. Spreading the awareness, giving them the knowledge on this is also one type of helping. So please do this and save our country. And once again, I thank each and everyone for giving this wonderful opportunity to share my opinion on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepika.
Thank you, Deepika. So you have added a very good point to this one, saying that helping economically is not only the way, but we should also give a moral support to the people who are infected and who are infected and who are in a bad situation. We should definitely give our moral support for them too. And like you said, I'm happy that you have learned a little bit more than what you know before. So I would also keep that in my mind. Like I will also spread the awareness wherever I can, and I would also like to help the people as of I can. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Deepika. Now this is the time to convey thanks to everyone. Now I request to give vote of thanks by B. Kalpana, Assistant Professor of Zoology of the host college.
Sir, 1 minute, sir, before
Please,
vote
madam.
of thanks. I
Please.
request to Venkaya sir, HOD, Head Department of Zoology, Karki University, to please bless us, sir.
Please, Venkaya sir, please carry on.
Okay, good evening to all of you. So
Good
I
evening,
congratulate Rajareddy sir and Madam Suhasini garu for conducting a wonderful international webinar today. So I congratulate the main speaker, Vinay Kumar sir, manufacturer scientist in USA. So he has delivered a wonderful and thought-provoking lecture on the COVID-19. Thank you, sir. Thank you for a valuable message on this present situation. So now India is you are well compared the other countries and India. So India is economically backward compared than other countries, but the people awareness is very less compared than other countries. So here the spreading of COVID is very high in present situation. So the second wave of the corona is very immediately spreading on this moment. Okay, so because of the awareness, very less awareness of the people in India. So government has not facilitated to aware to how to avoid the riskiness of this COVID-19. So initially what happened, government has provided the number of medical facilities and also build the hospitals and oxygen supply. These measures are not taking initially, they take casual. So hence, Sir has already mentioned the people are gathering. Gathering is very important. The spread the disease to the overall the country. Why? Because the Kumbh Melas and election rallies and other gatherings are occurred very huge in our country. That's why the disease is very spread. In rapid spreading is occurs in our country, sir. So most of the deaths are occur, and also most of the aged people, they have afraid of phobia, COVID phobia. So that is the main important factor. Aged people, they are afraid of the disease, and awareness programs are not conducted government and other government sources. So most of the deaths are occur in the second wave of the corona. So compare than other countries. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Very wonderful lecture you had to deliver. Very thought-provoking and very informative, sir. Vinay sir, I congratulate I congratulate the principal, sir, Rajareddy garu and Madam Suhasini garu and other entire college of the Pingle College, and my own behalf and also on behalf of the Department of Zoology, Karate University, I congratulate once again. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much on this occasion.
Thank you. Thank you, Venkaya sir, Dr. Venkaya sir.
Thank you very much,
for
sir.
coming and blessing us, sir.
Okay,
Venkaya sir, Rajareddy sir, I would like to add a point for Venkaya sir's reasons. So he looks like he had gone through the presentation very quickly, and so he came to a conclusion saying that the hospital management are not really doing well during the initial days. So Venkaya sir, if we look at the China, so what they did, they built a hospital less than like 10 days or less than 2 weeks, which is very surprising. So how they are proactively working to get the situation in control. So here the government also should play a very vital role to get every citizen in control. So Venkaya sir, looks like he get all the points, and he also discussed about the people phobias and all, which is very good thing. And thank you so much for your thoughts on my presentation, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
In such situations, awareness among the people is second thought, and awareness for the government is important.
Right, yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
building a big hospital in 10 days in China is possible.
Right.
Why could not we build such a hospital? Even today also we are just starting or increasing the capacity of hospitals.
Yeah.
So it is the motive
even
of the
government should not supply the oxygen, sir, properly. Actually, patients are suffering.
Yes. And
actually
like
government is not so serious about the issues.
Yes.
So
if you
just
look into one
now
of my,
they are feeling the heat.
right. So if you look into one of my slide where I compared India to other countries, there I have added a point saying that government is underdeveloped and they are not taking the right decisions at the right time. So they have to act smart at this kind of situations. So we as a citizens, see, I mean, we are the rulers of the country. Every citizen is the ruler of the country, not the political parties. Even so, I would like to add a point. When I was in India, I know the things how it works, but we have to, like everyone here on the meeting is very well educated, so we have to act now, and we have to make our decisions, and we have to do the government to do our work. So I would suggest, and because I can see a lot of young people join on this call, they would be the future citizens. So I request everyone to go broadly into this thing and be cautious. Everything happening for yourself.
Thank you, sir. Now I request B. Kalpana, Assistant Professor of Zoology, to convey vote of thanks.
Good evening to all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose this vote of thanks for this international webinar. So first and foremost, at the outset, it's my privilege to acknowledge thanks to our chairperson and the principal of our Pingle Government College for Women, that is Dr. G. Raja Reddy sir, for his constant support and encouragement for organizing this webinar. Thank you so much, sir. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Dr.G.Suhasini madam, head of the Department of Zoology, for organizing such a wonderful webinar. Thank you so much, madam. Our gratitude to Dr. Y. Venkaya sir, head of the Department of Zoology of Kakatiya University. In spite of having busy schedule, you have taken some time for us. Thank you very much, sir, for attending this webinar and giving suggestions also. Thank you so much, sir. And our special thanks to today's young speaker, Vinay Kumar Arepelli Garu. You have given so many suggestions for our students and also who has attended for this webinar. For all of us, we are so much thankful to you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And our sincere thanks to our advisors, Dr. A. Sanjeevaya, PG, CGTA President, and Dr. K. Surendra Reddy, sir, PG, CGTA General Secretary, for constant support for this webinar. And thanks to our advisory committee members, that is Dr. Istari, sir, BOS of Kakatiya University Zoology Department, and Dr. Shemita Madam, Zoology Department, member of Zoology Department, Kakatiya University. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, sir, for your continuous support for us. And thanks to all the organizing committee members, that is Vice Principal, Dr. R. Ravi, sir, our academic coordinator, Dr. D. Ramakrishna Reddy, sir, Dr. G. Renuka Madam, head of the Microbiology Department, B. Jagadish, sir, Assistant Professor of Library Sciences, for being with us throughout this webinar with your valuable suggestions, sir. Thank you so much. And finally, thanks to all the esteemed faculty from all over the country and our college faculty, our students, all other distinguished personalities and participants from Karnataka, West Bengal, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Australia, London, USA, for making this international webinar such a grand success. Thank you so much, all of you. And finally, thank you, madam, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much, one and all, once again.
Thank you, Kalpana. Sir, one request on behalf of our webinar. One of the participants, Siddhant Renukundla, Australia, would like to speak a few words on this webinar. Kindly
Please,
permit,
madam,
sir.
please. Please, madam.
Hi, good evening.
Your
Good evening, one
permission.
and all.
Good evening,
Good evening,
sir.
one and all. I'm Siddhant Renukundla. I'm from Australia. Currently talking from Melbourne here. It's very cold outside. It's like 9 degrees outside. Anyways, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. Thank you, Zoology Department. Thank you, Suhasini Garu, for organizing this call. Thank you, Vinay Garu. It was a very informative session, and your research from this presentation, comparing what's happening the other side of the world, is very good. And since I'm living in Australia, I can speak a few words like how we got out of it, out of the COVID situation. Like in Australia, we maintained a strict over 100-day lockdown. Like we were practicing all the COVID-19 precautions, like wearing masks from the day one where we got the first case in Australia. So that is what helped us to get out of the situation. And I would strongly encourage all the leaders, like such as the zoology department from Pingle College and all the professors, to spread awareness. And please don't panic. from the videos which I since I'm away from from my motherland, I feel very nostalgic, and I used to cry sometimes seeing all the news overseas in India, what's happening there. So I would strongly encourage, I would strongly ask leaders like you, education leaders like you, to spread awareness how to get out of the situation, and practice strict COVID-19 precautions such as wearing mask and everything. Please keep yourself safe and your family safe. Thank you for giving this opportunity. And overall, it was a good session. And thank you, Suhasini Garu, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Siddhant, for your words.
So I just want to add one more thing to this for Siddhant Renukuntla's comment. He was saying that they were being taken care since day one, which is absolutely amazing. So even here in America, I am fully vaccinated. I have got 2 shots of my doses, but still I still wear a mask, even though if I get out of my house, except I'm in the house. Even if I step out of my house, I am definitely wearing my mask. Not only me, everyone is doing that. So here, more of what we could do is we have to prevent ourselves from the virus or from the disease or whatever it is. So it is our responsibility to take care of ourselves. And like he mentioned, like Siddhu mentioned, Siddhant mentioned, should not panic to the situation. That is the biggest mistake what we are doing. But I know, as a human being, we are I mean, like when we get sick, we get into the panic situation. But it is my request to everyone to take care of their family members also, because elderly people, they are a little bit worried more than the younger ones. So we have to teach our parents and our elderly people and what's going on the situation, and we have to help them to get better. And thank you, Sidhu, for your comments on the session.
Yeah, thank you, Vinay.
Thank you, one and all. With this, Madam Suhasini, Madam, shall I conclude it, Madam?
At the outset, I would like to thank Principal Sir, Dr. Raja Reddy Garu, for giving us this opportunity to conduct the international webinar. And I thank our speaker, young speaker, Vinay Kumar Arepelli, for giving his valuable time. Within a very short period, we have arranged this webinar. Thank you so much, Vinay, for your valuable suggestions, and also your presentation was very, very, very wonderful at this need of the hour. And thank you very much, and thank all the participants from bottom of my heart. And thank you so much for making this webinar a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Please take care of yourself. Don't get into your panic situations, and please be aware of things going around the world, and take necessary preventive methods. And if we could save ourselves, we could save our families. And if we could save our families, we could also save our country getting into this situation. And I'm more than happy to be a part of this elite team today. And I would love to thank Dr. Raja Reddy Garu, Dr. Suhasini Garu, and everyone on this cell, Banot Kalpana Garu, and Venkaya sir, everyone. So for bringing me and giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts and views, and making a difference, and bringing the preventive methods, and educating the children, educating the students who are on this call, and my family members, whoever is watching. So if you have any questions, I will drop my email here. So if you have any questions, I would be definitely more than happy to answer you. You can email me all your questions, and I will definitely get back to you very soon.
Thank you, Vinay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vinay.
Okay, thank you,
and
madam.
I request
Thank
all
you,
the
madam.
participants to please fill your feedback form, with which you can get your e-certificate also. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Suhasini, Madam. Thank you, Vinay sir. Thank you, Sidhu sir. With this, once again, I convey my heartfelt thanks and